Hello everyone, this is Paula, back again to do the third and final video that I've been recording today. So I'm wrapping up the Traveler's Notebook so I can move on to other things I need to get done. But there's just a few things for me to do on here, and I just thought I'd take you along with me. Now, I'm taking gesso. For those of you who don't know, gesso, it acts like a very light colored white. So I'm putting it on some pages that are not white pages, okay, are tea stained. So I'm just going to put it on one side here, and I've put a paper behind it. So I'm doing this because it allows you to have that space to journal on if you need it. And also if you want to decorate something particular. Okay. So I just thought, you know, I'm going to do it this time. I have not ever done this to one of my journals. But honestly, I have really never needed to. Okay, so I just feel like it'd be a fun thing to do. You can take the gesso or white acrylic paint and do the same thing. I think this is softer and better for you whenever you go to possibly write on it with some marker or pencil or something. So I'm going to hit this real fast. Takes very little time to dry. Yes, I'm trying to wrap this up. I looked through the book and decided I didn't want as many blank sheets as I had. So I've created some things today. A lot of people that make junk journals, you will understand how I did these. But there is a lot of videos out there that show you how to use book pages in different ways. So, what I'm going to say to you is, on some of these, you know, I made some book page things to go with it. Now we're going to go over to this one more sheet here. And this will be the only other one that I'm not getting rid of the picture on the other side of the florals or the greenery. I'm just doing this side. I don't care about this side of it, so there's nothing over here that I need to get rid of. So really, it's better to do 2 coats of this. And even then, it's not like a lot of your paints, you know, if you did acrylic paint, it would cover this completely with a heavy coat. Now, I'm just doing these light coats on here, and I'm going to do 2. And as you see, you don't want to get your heat gun too close. It's been a full day for me. I've been doing videos since 4 o'clock this morning. Okay, so now I'm going to back up and hit this one again. Because I want it just a little bit darker. Now, I say darker. There's nothing dark about this white gesso. But I want it to have a little bit heavier coat. Okay, now we're going to hit this one too. This is, after we do the next one, that's all the hit in the dryer for today. Now, I will say, if you get it down in your spine, just take a damp rag and just kind of scoop it out. And I'll do that after I dry this. I try not to interrupt the spine any more than necessary, because it does make a difference, you know, and how how weak or how strong your spine is. I think when you add things in there, you start messing with it. It's just not that great. Okay, here's this last one. And we're going to go over it, hit it with the heat, which takes very little time, as you've noticed. And, yeah, and then we'll move on to decorating. And I probably will do something with this page. I don't know that for sure. I'll just have to see how that turns out or how that works. But I do want to cover this gesso up. So I'm just going to put the plastic bag back on. I will go and clean up the paintbrush and stuff later. But in the meantime, I'm just using a wipey on it just to keep it from getting super, you know, dried on there. I'll get the majority off anyway. And I'm just going to lay that over here after I hit my mat with it. Hit the mat with it. It's not the smartest thing. Okay, we're going to dry this last one. Some people use colors and use acrylic paints that are a color or a theme of a color that they're working on. I personally, if I'm going to write on it, unless it's something particularly important, I will definitely not let it be out that way. Okay, now we are through with this portion. Now, I have a few things inside here that I've got ready to glue down. I've made them and they're ready. And the reason I made them off camera was it was so time consuming, okay? So, and I knew that most of you know how to make them. If anyone has a question and wants to know how to make them, I know Gail has several videos on different book page items. So I made this and just stitched it. This is a side pocket. And I just stitched it around to give it a decoration. Covered it in the wallpaper digitals that I told you about the other day. This is tailor-made. I'll have to look again. I know it's tailor-made something. So I'm just putting glue here. This is Fabri-Tac. And yes, I did get the cool bottle. It does make a huge difference. It doesn't come out all over the place. I'm going to let you know. Tailor-Made Journals is where I got the wallpaper digitals. And I got set 4 and 5. So the papers that I have used to make these, it's book page. First of all, it's Santa Claus. It's an old Santa Claus book of Christmas on Miracle Street. And it's a pretty worn out little book. And then I made this tag. This is one of the tags from the kit, and I just added a button for a change, and I stitched around it. This is that same, all the papers on this double layout is the same, okay? Now, I'm not going to stick this in the pocket yet. I'm going to give this time to dry, and then we'll go from there. Now, I'm going to set it right here, but it will go here in this pocket once it's dried, okay? Now, over here on this side, I have one of the mini CD cases. I took a floral off of the wallpaper and put it inside. I just thought it looked nice, and then folded the flap inside so that whenever we put a tag in there, we don't have any problems getting inside where the floral is. Okay, so we're just putting a couple small tags there. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to glue this down. And I tell you, I love how this, unless you squeeze super hard, it gives you a thinner line. And, you know, I like that. I can make a thick line out of anything. But this is acting as a pocket right here. So, after we're through getting everything put down that I've made for the rest of my journal, I will we'll do a flip through, and this will be the last video this month on this little. I'm going to trim this off so I don't forget to trim off. This is part of the first video I did today where we did the decoupaging. I forgot to trim the napkins that were hanging over. There wasn't a whole lot, but still looks weird. And that lets that other thing dry. Okay, so we got that off. I think I got it off on the other. Well, it's on this side. Yeah, it's all off. Okay, so while these dry, I know it doesn't seem like much, but it did take me time to make these. And so it's safe to put these in because they go into the pocket. So those will go right there, and this one will go right here whenever it dries. And so this is how it will look. And I may go back and do some fibers, or I did think about putting I forget that I was going to put a flower on the side of, this is a flat, I like these flat flowers that you can get at Hobby Lobby because they don't take up a lot of bulk. And so I will use them for that reason. Looks like I lost one of the diamonds. We'll put it back in there. Okay, now I'm going to carefully, these things are so flat that they're attached and it's like tearing them off to get them off of here. Yeah, it's not the easiest thing to do. I don't think they thought about how it would be for the person using them. I think they thought about how they could keep them on their packages. So I'm just kind of adding a little bit here. Now, I'm going to put it down on this corner because it just needs something. Yeah, I like that. Much better. I'm thinking about putting one right here because, I'll tell you why. It just looks like it needs one. And I don't know what happened to, there it is. I'm like looking for the diamond that fell off of this one. Okay, let's see if we can get it to go back on here after we take it off of here without tearing it in half. Listen, I have torn them in half. These are real reasonable, but they're great for this type of thing. Okay. Okay, I'm going to put it right here. Now, I'll wipe off the tip of put a little bit right here to hold down the little shiny part, the little gem in the middle. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I think that helped. And it probably would have been a good idea to do one up here instead of the button, but I think it looks good with the button like that. Okay, so right now we're going to flip. I'm going to take, this is down good, so I think it's okay to flip over to the next page, which honestly, you're going to see that I did do this one without you guys. It's just really not that much. This is the one that I spent a lot of time on. Okay, this is the book pages that I made. I made a skinny one of these, and it has a pocket here and a pocket here. And again, this is the wallpaper from Tailor Made Journals. And yeah, and I stitched around them. Okay, super simple. I'll show you real quick. Let me grab a page. I'll show you real quick how you make these. Okay, now this is not the same book that I used, but you'll get it. You'll get the gist. I'm going to do a real quick explanation. You trim all the ragged edge off, and then you're going to fold your page like this, okay? You're going to fold your other page the opposite way so that when you cross them, they go the opposite way. So like this. I'm going to lay down and fold this, and I'll show it to you. So just like that. Now this is a bigger version, but if you wanted it smaller, all you do is trim after you put it together here before you stitch around it. And I add a pocket down here. Basically, I just fold another page in half right here, and I put it across here. I put printed paper on the inside flap and on this bottom flap here. These are just tags. I just want you to know how I do it here. See, I decorate this and I decorate this. And you will need one sheet of paper for the back. And so you'll add a sheet of paper back here, and you'll have this little pocket here. Simple. Simple, simple, simple. Then I just made a pocket with book page. I just folded it in half and made a pocket for this side of the book. Okay, so I'm going to put this here on the right side. And I'm not going to worry about anything going back in the back. So I'm going to glue the whole thing down, and this is where my pocket will be. And the reason is I have enough areas in here that I don't need to do that. And it just will stay down better, and I'll like it better. Now you can make this a pocket in the back too. If you want, you just glue around the two sides and the lower side and leave it open in the middle. And then you will have a pocket back in the back. Sometimes people like to have tons of pockets. It's just kind of a thing that journal makers do. I think they just like it. On the other hand, I'm happy with it just having like two. But I will be honest and tell you that I am one of those two that go out and try to make as many pockets as possible. Because the people like that. And since I know everyone likes that, that's what I want to attempt to do. Now, I'm just going to slide this in. I'm not going to do anything to the top because the zigzag, to me, is enough decoration. And the same with this lower pocket. I'm not going to do anything different because I stitched. And I think the paper says it all, you know. Now, this is the one I made for a pocket. And I want it this way. I made this one just to be a pocket, you know, on the other side. I just had this thing about, you know, doing it like a double layout and scrapbooking. I'm just going to put it across the sides and down at the bottom and just make it a pocket. Now, this will have to dry before we can put anything in it. This one, on the other hand, all the places the tags go do not have to have, they don't have to go in where the glue is. But what I'm going to do with this is it decorates for itself. I mean, you know, it It looks good on its own. So we don't have to worry about that. It's gonna be just fine. But I like to really make sure things are secure. Now, I did make 2 more tags. I ran out of this, so I was putting the pink on the back. So I'm just gonna have it like that, just to give you a view. And we'll put that back on in a little bit. Okay, now there's nothing else I'm going to add to that because, you know, we don't really need to. So what are we missing? That is one thing I want to think about. What am I missing in here? I added these pockets that I did a video on the other day, and I made little journaling cards. So we're going to flip through right now. I'm going to flip through, and if there's some place that needs to be decorated, we'll decorate it. So we'll start right here. This is the front, and what I did on the front was I added this peach color flower, and I added these balls with a tassel. I just thought they looked real 70, and to me the cover looks 70, as I told you. And it is rooted in hope. And boy, we need it right now, don't we? We need a lot of hope. But this cover wraps around. The designer that designed this, as I've told you before, is Lynette with Cheaply Chic. And I will link her below. She comes out with a new kit every month. You do not have to subscribe. You just have to be right there to get one, because she makes a bunch and they all disappear somehow. Every now and then she has extras, so always check back. I have personally, before I designed for her, I have personally gone back and got older ones because I just love the way she designs them. Okay, and here we have our butterflies. I added gems to those. This is an old tassel, a ball tassel. I just sewed it on and let it be the topper. I thought I liked it. I made these in a video, as I told you a minute ago. And these are all made out of book pages also. But I did make journaling cards for me, so I have a place to journal. And they just have pink roses on them. These were already decorated, so I didn't do anything. I did add a butterfly here. And also there's a journaling card inside. So you can refer back to that video. It's just a few back. It was just like maybe 4 or 5 back. And here's the first page I did. I really didn't know what direction I wanted to go at the time, but I knew this paper. I had this piece of paper. It was the perfect size to fit right here. The only piece I had, but I had this little marker for some reason, and it worked great. And I had this old flower also. So I'm added mushrooms to this also, because they make me think of the hippie days. And so today we did, 2 videos ago, we did the decoupaging in this book. I didn't do anything up here because that's where I'm going to journal. And I just love this. This is gorgeous. And then we come over here, and this is the sack that is attached in the pages. I used the tag that Lynette stamped the little girl on with the flower basket. I added a doily, and then added a couple of the tickets that she always sends us, and used this little mushroom garden as a pocket. And then I just added some of the floral here and another butterfly, and inside here is another mushroom card to journal on, and the letter from Lynette. Okay, and on the back I made a pocket out of this group of mushrooms and a vintage butterfly plain card. Over here is a policy holder, kind of like a coin pocket. I flipped it the flat back and made a butterfly tag for this one in the color scheme that I was doing these pages. I always do color schemes. I don't know why I do it. It's just like in my brain. It really does not look like the grungy part of scrapbooking, journaling. But I have fun just making everything work together. And sometimes I can do it grungier than I can other times, but what can I say? This is a blank page, and here's a blank page, and I did use gesso here also. Now, if we have time, I'm going to go back and try to figure out what to do on these pages. Another gessoed page. This is a page I did without you. I basically just tore this very old 70s style paper, and I made a pocket here. I tore around all the edges, and then I just made a tag. I hope it will come out. Yep, it did. And I just put 3 of these flowers on to represent, you know, what went on at that time, flower power. And here I just took a piece of the ruffle I had left that I had purchased from Lynette's store, and I put right here. Now we get to this bright page that has this old vintage paper that I think is so cool, these flowers. And I added 3 different Tim Holtz, a green, a red, and a black of his wildflowers, and added this black tab. And I really liked it, and so I decided to do this pocket, shrink it down. I shrunk it down and sewed it on the machine, and I just had this tag I had made or had left over from something. I had it in my stash. I just pulled it out, and I mounted it on some craft paper to give it more security, and put some black eyelash trim. But these are cutouts that was in the kit, and I believe this bag was in the kit too. And I just zigzagged both sides. Well, this is where the paper folds over right here, see? And so I decided to put it on that flap, and that's why I made it smaller, so it wouldn't be too giant on the flap. And then you flip it over, and I put a doily in here, and a little piece of lace to cover the back side of the bag. And I added a floral that I fussy cut. I did 2. This white one was in my stash from Lynette, and the red one I had in my stash. So I thought that turned out pretty. I wanted it to be a surprise. Boom, boom. And you could journal all the way around, and I like that. That's what I like. Okay, in here we just went over this. Gonna give it a little longer to dry. And here I had some, this came undone. I'm gonna put some, this is an old trim that I had for my granddaughters, and I had 2 of them. And I decided to do the center page with these wildflowers, flower power. And, you know, you couldn't have the 70s without the Volkswagen van, or the tie-dyes, or the music, or the peace sign, or the smiley face, butterflies, music, the whole 9 yards. This page represents that. And I added the hearts that come in the kit to the strings. And here we go. I just cut the paper that came with the kit. I just loved it. And I just added 2 strips of pink across there, made long tags, and covered them with paper to journal in the back. Put on this beautiful blue eyelash trim. And I like the way that turned out too. I'm anxious to use this book. And then you just saw me put this one together. We're going to give it some more time to dry. And here we decoupaged this morning, and the kit always the book always comes with a marker that she makes. They're always wonderful. And here are some more of the gessoed pages. We'll do something with that if we have time. These are 2 bags I had in my stash, and I used what was left over from that little border. And I put a bag on a bag and made some little butterfly. I love this because you can write on the back. Butterfly tags and just stuck them into the 2 bags. It was a single page, as you can see. This we did in one of the videos this morning. And basically, we just did green and yellow, and we did the seed pack here. And these things here were all in the kit. And this flower was in my stash. The seed pocket was from Tim Holtz. I just made different tags out of scraps in my drawer that I keep. And this is just a bag that is smaller, and I tore the mushroom and put it on there. And then inside I did a journaling card, which is a mushroom also. Now over here I just did a pocket out of this little brown index card, and I put this metal the metal flower there. I'm going to change them so they don't run into each other. I tore another mushroom, put a very, very old vintage card in. I had to shorten it, but that's all right. I'm using it. Can't hoard it forever. Striped bag. I tucked around the next page, and it will flip out, and you can write underneath, and you can write on this bag. Okay, and then the clip here that matches this flower. Over here, I put the ruffle that I have been hoarding, that Lynette made and had in her store. I like it, and I save it till the last minute. I keep thinking, she'll probably do it again. I know she will. Okay, and then here on this flap, we had decoupaged this little bag and this tag this morning, and I put it on that flap. There's nothing here underneath, so that page is available. Now, this is also a napkin that came in the kit, and I really liked how it fit up against this page here with the floral. So that's how come it has its home there. Now, here is another page with a floral bag that I had in my stash. This is the tag that Lynette gives you in the kit. And these are 2 of the punch outs, the little mason jars, and these are as well. And then I just took an index card that has a tab on it. It's really a filing card. And this came from one of the, I don't know, 2-3 kits ago. Didn't use it then, but now's a good reason. It's got this cool floral on it. Okay, this book's to the back, and we made this little journal this morning, and I'm housing it here in the very back. Used another one of those flowers there, tore some more mushrooms, put them on some of the oh my goodness, doilies, and I did one here as well. And then inside, this book has a couple doilies in it too, with pages to journal on. Just all kinds of pages. And inside your pocket, there is a piece of pink journaling paper that has avocado dyed. So I just fold it just like this. This goes in, this goes over, and then you just tie it with twine of some sort, ribbon, however you want to do it. I think my twine's a little short, but that's okay. That's all right. I don't mind. And it goes on the last page right here. And that's why this is so chunky, because I have that journal back there. But that's all right. I don't mind whatsoever. So I'm going to clean up this little mess I got going here and put the cap back on. This is a, it's called Sugar Bell, Sweet Sugar Bell on Amazon. All this comes with it except the stainless pen. You do have to have a stainless pen for the top. This will not flow out and go everywhere. This is what I've been told. And this comes off right here, not up here, to fill your bottle. And listen, it pours in there really fast, and then when it's getting to the bottom, you can just prop it and it will take every drop out. You don't waste anything. No more gripes from me. They come 2 to a pack, and they're less than $5, I believe. I just bought it last night before I went to bed, and it came today. I love that. Okay, let's go ahead and put these in their pockets now. I think it's probably dry enough if I can find the page that they were on. So that was our flip through, and anything we do after this will be, you'll be able to see it as we do it. Okay, so there is how that page turned out. I'm pleased with this page, very pleased. Now, what did I do with, or where did I put the other one? Must be this way. We'll see as we go here. I don't remember it being this way, but maybe so. Nope, wrong. So let's keep going. There it is. And we just need to put this here. So this is ready to go. It's kind of bare up here. Who knows? You never know. I may do something. I may put a border or something up here. It kind of looks bare to me. So we can get a scallop punch. I think that's what I'm going to do. And if I have trouble with it, we'll pass it up and move on to something else, okay? So I'm just going to put this piece here. I don't know exactly how much I'm going to need, but I'm going to do the whole thing because it looks pretty wide. And I think most of you know how to do these punches, don't you? You just line it up right there. You want to make sure it's getting all of it, because I have a bad habit of pulling too much over, and then it ends up without one of them being punched, and that bugs me. But I do it. It's my own fault. So just line it up. Make sure it stays pushed back. And it took me years to figure these things out. I'm not going to lie, it did. It took me forever. But once you do, it's really a breeze. It's really a breeze. And I don't think, oh, it did go all the way to the end. What do you know? So you just trim it off right here. And we'll see, I'll get the trimmer out. And we'll trim it and make it straight. And then we'll glue it across there. And I think that will look a lot better. Don't you? Do you agree with me? Let's start with it being one size. And if it's too big, then we can always move on and do it different. Okay, now I am going to ink this just a little bit. Okay, before we glue it down. And really, ooh, it really hit that part, didn't it? I'm just kind of going to hit at it. It's still going to really get it. So I just don't want the white up against the white. Might not look too cool. So what I'm going to do is, I think what I'm going to do is just fold it in half like this. Make sure it's straight. And I'm working at high speed right now. I don't know if you guys know that. You're not surprised, are you? I've done a lot of videos today, so that's a lot for me. So I'm going to turn this upside down, and we're going to glue it. We're going to put the glue on this, but I want to see how far we have to go before we trim it off, because I want to go ahead and trim it. Get that right there. That way we know exactly. I'm going to leave it a little long in case I make a mistake. Okay. All right. There we go. That way we know we've taken care of that, right? Okay, so now we're going to glue here. Now, I'm not really crazy. I mean, I'm not worried about it having the glue being perfect. Just get it on here, you know? All right, now I'm gonna put it down and have it all over me when it's said and done. And I'm gonna leave a little border at the top. I think it'll lay down better if we do it that way. Yeah, now I'm gonna trim off the glue ends that are already sticking to the next page, of course. And I always clean my scissors when I'm done, because I will cut right through glue. You know, that's why they're about worn out. But they're supposed to be, they're made to do that, just in case you didn't know. Yeah, I read somewhere, maybe it was when I was looking at the new ones to buy them, I read somewhere that they're made to be in the glue. So I think, you tell me what you think, but I think that looks much better. Just a little something like that. Isn't it amazing what a difference it makes? So what we might do with our other pages, let me see how much time we have left. Okay, we've just been on here 41 minutes. So let's find some pages. Let's go back this way or this way. Let's go this way first. Oh my goodness, we've got this big page, which may not get anything done to it. But I want to work on these that we have gessoed. No real reason, but I thought we'd use a color that we haven't used before. I'm looking at these wallpapers. Look at that. Does that not remind you of your grandma? There's some really cool ones in here. Look at that green one. It's wild. I like this green one, but I also like, there's a cool blue one too. I saw one in here that was lavender, and I thought that might be fun. Look at the strawberries. Oh my goodness. You know, that would, I've had stuff like that in my kitchen before. Oh my word, what was wrong with me is what I used to say to myself. Look at this lavender, and I know that it's not Easter, but that's wallpaper. Has nothing to do with Easter, right? So I'm thinking I want to just mount this here on this page, just like that. You're probably thinking, why? Well, I'm going to make a pocket at the bottom too. I just like it and I want to use it. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to put the glue on this page. Well, wait a minute. I better not. Let me think. I want to do it quickly is what I'm trying to do here. So I'm going to put it right across here. And it is getting in my, down in my spine a little bit. But I'm going to catch the paper on there, so it's going to be all right. I love that this tip, because then you can just pull this over to this side, see? Don't glue your tassels. And that will fit pretty good. I mean, I can feel that it didn't completely cover right here. I guess it slipped or something on me, but that's all right. I don't care. Now we're going to cut some more. So let's turn it, and I'm just going to trim it right here because I just really like it. And this book is a floral book, and it's also a multicolored book. And so it's kind of fun to do that. Sometimes you can just put whatever you want into it. I love it. It's been fun. I don't think that she had that in mind when she made it. I do know that she has a Volkswagen. I don't know what year hers is. I don't know that I've heard her say that, but yeah. And the way it was decorated was her color. She likes that gold and green. And so, yeah. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, this reminds me of the 70s. So that's how it happened. And the rest is history. So, yeah. Now, if I have anything come up on that, that'd be fine. Now, I'm thinking, what do I want to do over here? This is going to be mostly where I put my journaling. But in the meantime, I can't journal this whole page, right? So this is going to be my journaling page, but I do want to just kind of do a loop around it. Now, there's nothing special about what I'm doing, okay? I'm just making squiggles all the way around. None of them are even. None of them are the same. It's what makes it fun. You just got to be free with things sometimes, right? Now, I just smeared that right there. Sorry about that. Now, if I try to fix it, I'll probably mess it up. So instead, I'm going to put some hash marks. I like to do that too when I do squiggles. So this is where I will journal. This will dry by the time I journal in it, okay? Now, that's this side. This side over here, I don't know what we're going to do. Just don't know. But I am going to put this in here because it might smear. The pen might smear. Now, on this side, I don't know if this will fit or not. Because if it does, that would be great. Yep. And then we could, let me see. I could go ahead and use gesso on here again. I hope you guys can see. I get kind of separated from you, and that makes it tough. There. Okay, let's see if you guys can see. I hope. If I've messed up, just tell me, Paula, you need to go more to the right, or go more to the left. And I'll look at the video if that happens. Okay, so which one is the top? Let me look. Oh my. Okay, so it's like that. Okay, just checking. Now, again, I'm going to put this on the book. It's much faster. You saw how fast it was. It took very few minutes. And when you know your paper is going to fit, you don't really have to worry. It's going to hit the glue, you know, at some point. It's going to grab hold of that glue and do what it needs to do. Okay. I actually hear my husband outside weed eating while I'm doing a video. Isn't that fun? It's right outside my window. Okay. I'm sorry if you guys hear that. What can I say? Anything to give him something to do is what I say. This whole retirement thing's pretty new for him. And he loves being home, though. He loves not having to think about anything that has to do with work. He's got enough work to keep him busy for a while, but he's done something to his knee last week, but he hasn't said anything about it today, so I think it must be okay. All right, so there we go. Now, you guys see how cool this looks? We have to do the writing on this side. So I'm going to add some more gesso because we still have it out over here. Probably shouldn't, but I do. I'm trying not to get it on the flower. This page was pretty cool because it had a lot of writing on it. Now I'm just doing the center here, trying to keep it where it's not so close. I love music sheets and journals. I don't normally cover them up, but it just has to happen with my page design this time. Okay, now I'm going to dry this. I promised you that was the last one. Oops, I think I lied. Didn't mean to. Just a few seconds. I have another idea that I'm going to do on the big page, and as soon as I dry this, we'll go right over there. I will do the purple squiggly around this again so that the pages are the same. I will also do a second layer, but just so you know, both pages like this here will be the same over here. I've left the pin out so I know exactly what I need it to be like. So I'm going to do like this so that this one doesn't smear. The only thing about gel pens, when you use them in your books, they will smear to other pages. So I'm going to go over to that one page that I said, oh no, that's too big. I'll never get that done. I can't think of that many things today. I mean, I've been doing this all day, so I've done a lot of thinking about how to do this and how to do that. This one here, this big one. So what do we do, right? What do we do on these pages? Well, I don't know, but I'm going to try. I'm going to get my punches out, and I want to punch. Let me see. I have some big hearts. Let me see if I have a big flower here. I don't think I have my big flower punch over here. Or my big scallops. So, how about we do... I'm trying to decide, do I want to do these or do I want to do the hearts? The hearts. The hearts win. Okay, so what I'm going to do with the hearts is I'm going to punch some different wallpapers. That's not big enough. That's one thing you have to think about is how big. Now I have a scrap here that's going to be big enough. And I'm just going to do random punches here. And I'll go ahead and I'm going to save that because I might do something with that. I want to find the bright ones, the ones that are just super colorful that I was showing you a minute ago, like this green. Oh my word. I love this green. Let me see. I don't want a flower in it though, because then it becomes green and yellow, right? That did not punch. What is the deal? It's probably the way I was holding it, so let me put it down. I messed it up. Now we may have yellow and green. Yeah, that's what I did. That was my fault. Sorry, guys. Now, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. We may not get to do it all together, but look at these little apples or cherries or whatever. Kitchen wallpaper. Put it right there. What my plan is to put different hearts in here. I like to journal on hearts, and obviously not all of these can be journaled on, but the ones that can, will work. And those are the perfect size, aren't they? Okay, so let me find another one. Had thought I would do the bright colored ones, but I've kind of swayed against that because you can't journal on all of those. So I'll do a few. Okay, there's a mint one, or I mean a peach one. So we can do that. Now, let's see what else we got. I've got another one over here that is kind of a peach, but it has a design. I won't put them together. I'll separate them. I just want to make sure I have enough. I'm going through them all here. I'm trying to find the ones that I think will work. Oh, this is kind of fun. This would have been a bathroom wallpaper. Do you remember this kind of wallpaper, guys? Oh my goodness. That would have been a bathroom. I can tell. Okay, so we're going to put another one with the cherries because it's the only one so far we can't, I want to have a few in there that we can't journal on. So it kind of spreads it out. So I'm going to put it down here. I don't want the peach together. And then I need two more. And we should be done after that. Now I'm going to do this one again because... Okay, so let's do it this way. Trying to figure out how I can do it and get some of the red on there. Makes it a little different, see? And... I really like this big blue one right here in the middle. So what I'm going to do is cut between these like this. And I'm going to get that. I'm going to get that blue right here. The thing I love about digitals, just so you know, is the digitals are awesome because, where did my, there it went. That's the last one I need. Because here I am so freely using these. But all I've got to do is go print them again. You know? That's the real awesome part about digitals. Just kind of a little information there. I'm going to put up my hole punch so it don't take up all the room I have here. And believe me, I don't have much. Okay, now. What we're going to do, and we don't have much time, is we're just going to ink these super fast. I mean, the fastest inking you've ever seen. Right. And I'm just going to glue these. I'm going to glue them. I'm just going to take them as I ink them, and I'm going to glue them. Okay? And there's no right way to do it or wrong way to do it. I'm just going to leave room for another one to be above this one. Okay. Now, I'm going to do this green one. All right, let's put the green one up here. It's pretty. There we go. And I'm going to put a gray one down at the bottom. All right. All right, there's that one. I'm going to put some here, and then we'll see what we do over there. Now I'm going to put... I like sometimes just to fly by the seat of my pants. And this is one of those moments where, oh no, I forgot to ink those. Only inked the one. Well, whatever. Oh, Paula. All right, it doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. So let's ink this one. We'll ink the ones that are opposite of each other, so it'll look like it was done on purpose. It isn't. I just am rushing too much to finish this up so you guys can see. And this is going to be the last of what I do here. I might cover a few more pages, and that's only because I want to be able to not have to journal big things. I'm finding that some of my journals last more than 1 month, you know, if I don't put quotes or scriptures in them. And I've only had one that I did that in, and I felt like it, you know, I ended up doing 2 months in it because it just worked, you know, it worked better. And these are going to end up getting bent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I put plenty of glue on that side where the bend is going to be. Okay. And we'll try not to get too far over there. All right, so this is going to be the one down here this time. I thought I had 3 of those, but I guess I only did 2. Who knows? Who knows? Right? Now, I'm going to do the same thing, making sure I get the glue on that flap right there that's going to bend over at some point. All right. Now I'm going to put this one right here because remember I'm doing them, I'm alternating them. And and the reason I did that is because I wanted it to look like it was on purpose. You know, some of the things that you can do, like I've told you, you know, you can do certain things to make it look like it's on purpose. And nobody would know the difference. Maybe in this situation they would. Especially if they were a journaler, right? Okay, now, let me see our time. Oh, we're over. Of course we are. All right, guys. I know that you all have had fun, because I have. And I'm just flipping through. It's almost completely full. But it's time to be done with it. So we can do a new one starting in a week. And I have a lot of videos lined up for you guys. So check back every day. Or click on the little bell by the subscribe button. And that will notify you when I have anything to tell you or show you. All right, guys. See you in the next video. Subscribe if you haven't. See you next time. Bye-bye.